歩いててなんか探してる時にふと後ろ向いたらなんか雑誌があるとね、そういうね、あっち系の雑誌があるっていう。
Welcome to the lazyfluency podcast, where we have casual conversations switching English and Japanese so that you can learn from and with us along the way. I'm Joey.
And I'm Miami.
And the topic of the day is censorship. But before we get into that, make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and or drop a review of the platform you're listening on. And if you feel so inclined, support us on Ko-Fi. We appreciate the support. And with that out of the way, censorship. Stop regulating freedom of expression. Repeal censorship laws. This was the tagline of one of the many posters that were put out on Tokyo's prefectural election bulletin boards. What censorship laws, you may be wondering? Well, I should probably mention that the center of the poster featured was a nude model with their legs wide open, their private parts covered by handheld fans with a picture of a candidate with Joker face paint. We are not talking about the Tokyo election again, but right after we did the Tokyo election episode last week, there was this incident with somehow I didn't catch the guy who had Joker face paint as one of his elections, and this isn't even the first time you've done it, but this kind of brought my mind, obviously, censorship and nudity. We will put links, I guess, to the person's Twitter if you want to check out the posters. We're not going to be able to put that on YouTube for, I guess, YouTube reasons, but there is technically no private parts being exposed. It is as I described, and this ended up getting forced to repeal. And one of the reasons that I want to do this episode is because there was a male equivalent of this poster that was posted by other politicians earlier. And Aimee, can you describe what this picture looks like? To be clear, this is not the same guy. This candidate was saying, "Hey, this is ridiculous. Like, if my poster wasn't okay, then why was this previous year's poster okay?" And Aimee, can you describe what was the other poster? I think this was a previous year. This is an election. This is an election poster. Yeah.
いや、やだよ。いや、嫌です。Can you?
I'm down to, okay. So it's a Japanese guy, completely naked, staring kind of almost iconically at the camera, head slightly down tilted. He's completely nude and he has a boner. There's a slight blurring on his boner, and that's it. As opposed to, like I said, the other poster that was posted by our Joker face paint dude, which has completely covered private parts. This was a whole thing. The Japanese public at large kind of was getting really angry at this guy because they didn't like the fact that he put these posters that were inappropriate. But the response to this specific poster, and when I especially saw some of the other history, made me realize, one, there's definitely a double standard with nudity in Japan, and made me want to explore some of my personal experiences in Japan, with nudity, censorship, and things of the like. I mean, generally speaking, are you familiar with Japanese censorship laws regarding sexual content?
なんかよくあれだよね。日本のはなんかモザイクかけられてて、でも逆に海外のはモザイクかけられてなくて、でなんでそういうルールにしてるのかよくわかんないんだけど、でも日本のさ、なんて言うんだろう、アダルトのインダストリーはさ、そうモザイクかけるんだったらもっとさ、人前からそういうアダルトのお店を消すべきだと思うんだよね。そんなに気にしてるんだったらさ、だって秋葉原だのどっか行けばさ、結構ね、人通りが多いところにでかいお店があったりとか、あと本屋さんで普通に歩いててなんか探してる時にふと後ろ向いたらなんか雑誌があるとね、そういうね、あっち系の雑誌があるっていう、子供が普通に見られるところに置いてあるから、ちょっとやばいよね、教育上。
I recall looking this up, but I can't believe I had forgotten to look this up for this episode as to why they have the censorship laws they do in the first place. I know South Korea, I think, goes a little harder where porn in general is being banned. And also, I guess I should say another reason I was interested in doing this episode in the US. What are we up to now? I have a big map here. I think it's about a third of states as of, is this April 26th? This is by May 6th. Sorry, May 6th. As 2024, about a third of the states in the United States enacted laws that will be making it so to access pornographic content, you need every site that holds it needs to have age verification. So not just asking if you're 18, but like I think some sort of form of ID, which made Pornhub, like one of the most popular porn sites, block itself from these different states. So I feel like we're having there's a lot of sexual content protecting the children on the mind as well. Or are you looking up, is this the reason?
何が？違うリーズンじゃないんだけど、でもさっきのなんだろう、女の人が、アイドルがなんでなんだ説明するのも大変だな。洋服を着ずにプライベートな場所だけ隠したポスターを、しかも都知事選でみんなが見えるところで貼ってるから、なんでそういうことをしたんだろうっていうのが気になって、でもなんか調べてみるとなんか全然そういうことをしそうな人じゃなかったっぽいけど、どういう動機なのかよくわからん。
No. So the guy is the one who did it. He's the running for election, and the woman she was a model who done something else beforehand for some other company. And
何hired されたってこと？
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
じゃあこの人悪いっていうかなんていうの？
Well, both. I'm all. Here's my thing. So okay.
お金をいっぱいこれだけの大金払うからやってくれみたいな。
No. It's not like from what I understand, it's not like she was against it. She posed or whatever with it. I just don't think it's a big deal. If you're going with other Japan standards of nudity, if you've been in a bookstore in Japan, you know this. Like Amy was describing earlier.
私がここで問題だと思うのが、これを都知事選で貼ってるってところと、みんながパブリックのところで普通に貼ってるじゃん。子供普通に通るじゃん。こういうなんて言うんだろう。反社会ではないけどなんて言うんだろうね。表だって言うようなことじゃないことをTPO をわきまえずにこうやって出すのはちょっとおかしいと思う。
I guess we might disagree. So my thing is there's two questions here. One, the question is this breaking the standards that Japan has currently by like how they actually, the real life standards that you like day to day you experience? And the second thing is, should this be allowed in the first place? Whether this should be allowed to this degree in the first place, I'm not entirely sure. Like, it is a public space. It is literally on the election posters. But I think there are plenty of examples of things that are equally at the same degree that people accept as completely normal. One of them, what I mentioned before, sumo wrestlers. Sumo wrestlers are more naked than this girl. They're more naked.
What? No.
They are. They only have a thong. They only have a
random. 待って、そこはあれきっちり反論できるのは、しかも男の人じゃん。男の人っていう時点でさ、男の人って上半身はプールでも隠さないじゃん。
Wait. What is that okay? You hold up. So you're saying, as a woman, you're saying there's some reason men should be able to show their nipples and you're not allowed to show?
じゃないけど、パブリックでそれだって恥ずかしい人は自分から見せなきゃ済むことじゃん。けど普通に考えてプールでさ泳いでて、男の人って大体下半身だけのスイムスーツ着てるじゃん。それでも女の人って今上と下じゃん。
I'll ask you, is there any difference between this and like this picture and a bikini with a top? Because I don't think there's a difference. I just think it's the way she's posed.
Yeah, there is a difference.
What is the difference? I don't think there's not more exposed skin. There's not more exposed skin.
いや、輪郭は見えるじゃん、まずここが。
You can do that as well with, okay, so do you think this should be okay? Then the guy
No.
Okay, so you would be disagreeing with the...
Both of them, no.
Okay, both of them, no. Okay,
Yeah.
so you might be...
それはそうよ、だって。だってこれが普通にね、駅前とかで飾られてたら私本当になんか嫌な気持ちになるもん。ここ歩きたくないなっていう。
Where would you draw the line? Do you think so you think it's okay for sumo wrestlers to be basically completely naked with a thong that's only blocking part? You can't even see their butt is fully visible.
だってそれはさ、あれじゃん。そういう場だから。だって相撲レスラーってさ、相撲の競技場でそういうふんどしじゃん。でしょ？でスイミング例えばさ。
Beach? What about a beach?
ビーチバレー、ビーチとかもさ、そういうみんながそれをエクスペクトして水着ビーチってみんな大体水着着るじゃん。だから水着着る人が多いよっていうエクスペクテーションがあった上でそこに人が行くわけじゃん。で相撲も
So you would be, hold up, just be clarifying. You would be fine with a woman wearing this as a bikini suit at a beach.
だってみんなそれしてるじゃん。 どういうこと？
Okay. No, I'm just checking. And so you'd also be fine with, like I said, there are plenty of festivals where they have, Japanese men strip down to thongs and, push each other and like hundreds. I think we told you about that. Like there's so many different events like that and like where they're out in the public.
どういうこと？
Where basically the expected wearing for men is just to wear the fundoshi and they're doing some sort of traditional thing outside in the middle of the public.
だからお祭りとかさ、たまにふんどし
That's
し
in the
か
public though.
そうふんどしでお祭りのなんかみこし担いでる男の人とかも結構いるんだけど、それってさお祭りっていう場じゃん。でもう普段から毎年この祭りはこういう格好でみこし担いでるとか、そういうなんかピーポーがもう分かってる状態じゃん。
What's the? I'm trying to understand. You're doing this in some. I'm assuming maybe you just don't like it, but maybe the defense you'd be doing behind that is to protect the kids to some degree.
Protect the kids じゃなくて普通の人も見たくないもん。だってマジで知らない他人のさ、ブツを見たくないもん。
Do they want to see it at a beach or a festival?
だからそういう見たくない人はビーチに行かなきゃ済むことじゃん。でもこれって普通にさ日常生活しててさ勝手に目に映るものだからさ、見たくない人にとってさすごく不快なものだよ。
So okay. So are you aware that some, like this happened in my college as well? I wouldn't be surprised if it was something that's in Tokyo, but of many countries around the world, they have like nude runs or like nude bikes or nude beaches, like sometimes through the city directly. Was that something you'd be against in Tokyo if there was a nude run?
Nude run だからそれが
It's in the public. It's in the middle of the city. This happens all the time. They're nude run.
日本ではまずない。
I would be surprised if there's not. Like in most countries,
日本だってなんだ日本だと
you really think Fundoshi Japan would not have a nude run? I could Google it right now. I think it's a thing probably. Okay,
でもあったとしても多分 enclosed area だと思うよ。まあないと思うけど。
Okay.
99% ないと思う。
There's a very good chance that there is one. I'm just saying there was one in my college.
でもさそういうのってだってさ行きたい人が勝手に行くわけじゃん。けどこれはさ
No, that's in public. So to be clear, what I'm talking about is like nude runs and nude bikes. It's a public space, and they have a day, and then they are running through some area.
そのエリアに行かなきゃ済むことじゃん。
Yeah, but you'd have to look it up in advance. There's a very good chance. Because I could just say the same thing and just don't go to the area where just don't look at the signs for there are designated areas for all these election signs, right? To me, for one, I don't, as far as I'm concerned, there's no, even by our normal standards, there's no nipple, there's no, private areas being exposed here. The only thing you could say is, oh, it's because the women is intrinsically more sexual or something like that. And I don't think that's a good, I think by because Japanese women already, some wear short shorts that are pretty much as short as just wearing underwear, if we're being honest. There's some it looks like some Japanese short women don't even wear shorts. And then they have all the, what was it called? The tank top that's not covering their belly. But I think the only difference is probably the posture that maybe, but yeah. If you're wondering, you definitely should check out the image in Twitter. We described it once again, but that is a very big thing around here. So where would you draw the line for what is okay on a presidential poster?
What is okay?
Sorry, in the running. Yeah. Like where would you, so both of those are not okay. Like, do you have to wear a suit?
いや、洋服は別に何でもいいと思うよ。
Well, it's not 何でもいい. We just established it's not 何でもいい。だ
って着てないじゃん。洋服の種類は何でもいいな。ハワイアロハシャツでもいいし、なんだろう、タンクトップでもいいし。ビキニは知らんけど、まあ、なんてまずさ、
Wait, so this, hold up. Okay, imagine if this was a bikini. Then it's fine if this is a bikini.
ってなんだろ
う No, but right? Imagine it's a bikini. Is that okay then?
私は違う。それは趣旨と違うと思う。けど、なんでかっていうとさ、なんて言うんだろうね。なんて言うんだろうね。そのなんだろう。でもこの人たちってどういう政策なのそもそも。
Oh, you're wondering like what
これ
what's the
が
point? Oh, is it right there? 表現の自由へ規制はやめろ。モザイク解禁。So they're trying to get rid of, that's what I translated it into Japanese, but they're trying to get rid of censorship laws. I also, if people listening to podcasts for long enough, they know I had a whole video idea about going out and doing almost something similar because I'm like, it's ridiculous. It's just so, it's like the whole, I guess I could see some people be arguing like, hey, that'll take our blurring jobs. Like there's probably a sect of people who like blurring porn or something, but AI is already taking that over. So, to me, this seems so weird because if you've been in Japan ever, it's so low key. It's like you think it's not sexual, but it's extremely sexual anytime you enter most places, honestly. Do you think that just regarding this law specifically, what they're pushing for, that Japan should get rid of the censorship laws? Because it's something I feel like just needs to be getting rid of, because that means you legally have to. So I mean, you could be punished. And one of the reasons that they were mad about this specific thing is because the police were the ones restricting someone's free speech. The police were the ones who were doing it. And so you can have criminal consequences to not blurring. This was even blurred. So I don't know. To me, like that means that the law, I don't like giving police the power to be able to enforce and mess with people for like freedom of speech.
何アメリカだとさ、こういう人過去いるの？こういうなんかこういう写真を上げてこういう
Oh, well, remember what I just showed you a second ago? I showed IME a video from
でもそれは あれでしょ？選挙のためではないでしょ？
Yeah, I'm wondering, normally it's because the thing is, we have a bunch of other like leaders, everybody's focus is only on the main two parties, right? So if we look at the main two parties in Japan, like that are going for this, they're not being crazy because they're trying to win. But I mean, if I were to take a look, you could probably find anything. I didn't show you pictures of Vermin Supreme when we last talked about it, but and he's not like that he was naked, but we basically, how Trump won, he won. He's the winner. So I'm saying
he's not naked.
No, he's not naked. But my point is that think about the people who win in Japan.
Yeah.
And then compare that to these guys you're seeing here. So the people who win America, with Trump, and the people who are in the, the guys who know they have no shot, who are just putting up, you have anything. And people vote for like anything as well. Like I think I voted for the protagonist of
だからもしもだから日本人がこの2人いるのかなんかジョーカーとジョーカーだっけ
Yeah, well, no, you can see. Yeah, he's the election.
そうこの人に投票すればそういうことになるよね。そういう日本になる。
No, that's one of his policies. I don't want to like this is not another like political. Apparently, I mean the podcast listeners apparently liked the politics episode, but the YouTube listeners apparently did not. Or not that they didn't, there's just less interest apparently. But yeah, this guy's specific policies are like whatever. He seems like it's weird. Japanese politics are weird. They don't map on well to American. Like I would describe him as having some leftist policies, but then randomly he has some like I would call like conservative nationalistic policies. Like he wants no support, financial support for any foreigners in the country and stuff like that. But then he also
he's like pushing like fuck up hotels じゃん。
No. He was pushing.
It's for
no. He's pushing love hotels.
だからそれfuck up じゃん。
No. To be used to be made free. And this was we talked about this before. But
no. 違う。That's not what it says.
Oh wait, this was a separate. You're saying he like
what?
For separate reasons he's pushing them?
違う。
Like
この人の政策っていうのそうなんだっけな。
Well,
なんかその都庁っていうホワイトハウスみたいな感じね東京都のそのホワイトハウスみたいなのをなんかそのラブホテルに建て替えますみたいな。何がしたいのみたいな。
and
だから so he is literally making this like White House a building and then change it into love hotel.
Okay, no. So
how crazy it is.
No, that's not actual. You're getting baited. So I'm saying stuff like that. Just one of the other like. Okay, we're kind of. I don't want to get into this guy's policy that much, but he's trying to get the young people to vote. So that's his whole thing. So having like stuff that makes you go huh is the whole point. Like the whole reason I'm talking about it is I saw that poster. So I mean it's working. I mean I'm already.
はーんってなるけどさ、それを実際にさ。
It's not actual policy.
実行それそしたら嘘になるよ。
No, yeah,
He's lying だよ。
You can. I mean, it's like this is politics. The victory isn't getting your attention. But anyways,
そんなこと言ったらさ、じゃあ私がその選挙で選ばれて都知事になったらみんなに1億円配りますって言ってみんなそんな投票するじゃん。で1億円配りませんってなったらそんなの嘘だってなるじゃん。
No, I'm just saying political campaigns are more like people aren't that American voters are dumb. But I'm saying with something like that, it's so obviously a joke. Like
なんだろうこのさイレクションってさめちゃめちゃ大事なのにそういうジョークに使ってほしくない。
I'm just saying it's not like all I'm saying is his targeting hits me. It doesn't hit you. He's not you'd be the boss. I'm being like the kids these days. What is he doing with the
yeah. なんかめちゃめちゃ見ててこれ不快になってくるもん。うん。マジで不快本当に。
So you're the okay. Well, I kind of want to redirect it back in the discussion of not porn, censorship in general. Like I said, the United States is going around and state by state, their whole idea is to protect children. A lot of the conservative states, and so they want to make it so you have to prove your age. That you're over 18 when you go on the internet onto a site displaying explicit content. Have you heard about that, and what do you think about that? Do you have any thoughts about that? Well, the idea is so kids are getting whether it's true or not. I know kids are getting like addicted to their phones, but I don't. The specific impacts of I think it's pretty complicated from what I understand this specific issue, but how bad is porn exposure to kids or whatever? But if we assume it's not a good thing, and I'm not saying it would be a good thing, bad thing. I'm just saying from what I've seen, it's not like it's hard to draw you need a bunch of data. You need a bunch of data that isn't clearly accessible because we don't know how old a lot of people accessing the internet is. But my point is, let's say this is like clearly a bad thing. Do you think that it makes sense to force, any pornographic websites to? Because I think this could be a step, right? Japan's already blurring them. Do you think Japan, you could start seeing like them making it so you have to give some form of ID, whether it be what's it called? What are the Japan IDs called? Like the My Passport or?
My number.
My number. Yeah, like to access a porn site in Japan, you need to provide a copy of your ID or something. What would you think about something like that? In the US, the people who are opposed it, which myself included, would be at least free speech violation. Also allowing, like,
まあ確かにでもちょっと待って今思ったのがさなんでその子供
Also general security
子供がそういう、ポーンを見ないようにするのかっていうのが気になった。これはなんだアビアスかもしれないんだけど、小学生とかにポーン見せるのは普通になんて言うんだろう直感的にわかるじゃん。けどなんだろう高校生とか中学後半とかになったらでもアメリカだったらもう結構さなんていうのなんだ first time とかがもうなんか13とかさ。11 なんだ。
I believe the last time I checked. Or maybe it was 9. I can't remember.
9?
It was like, I think it might have been 11. I feel like we looked this up for an episode.
What?
Or it came up. I think that's it. I might be over-exaggerating, but I also think that's it.
I cannot believe that. Wow.
I can believe it.
いいや。で、なんて言おうとしたんだっけで、そうね。だから高校生とかになると、ある程度、なんていうの、精神的にも、だんだんその大人に近づいてきてってなるとさ、どこをそのクリアなラインにしてこっからここまではポーンダメだよとかさするのかっていうのでなんか微妙になるよね。でも日本の法律からするとさ、成人は18歳からだから、18歳よく18禁とか言うけど、それで区切るのもありだけど、でも実質ねなんだろうねここでなんていうのそのボーダーライン決めた方がいいっていうラインがまだはっきりと私は分からない。どこが一番パーフェクトなのかは。
Yeah, I mean that's definitely.
お酒もそうだよね。なんかアメリカだとさ面白いのがさ、21歳からタバコは吸えるんだよね。
Yeah, wait, yeah, yeah, and then no, hold up.
あれ21歳だっけ
Alcohol, is it the same as alcohol? Alcohol is 21. Is smoking 18? I don't smoke, guys, so I can't remember if they're both the same. I think it might be 18. I might be crazy. I know alcohol is 21.
そうだよね、そうだ。でもさ、日本だとさ、20だよね、そう、20。危ない。そう日本だと20歳なのよ。そのさ、やっぱりアメリカの方がなんか、ちょっと遅いじゃん。けどアメリカってさ、なんかみんなもう、中学、高校とかでもみんなさ、マリワナ吸ってるじゃん。
Yeah, I mean, Japanese people are drinking alcohol when they're much younger too.
No.
Don't even what? There's no.
私の周りで誰もいないし。
All your friends are doctor parents. they're all
No, I went to あれだよ。まあ
Okay, maybe I'm just saying the people that I met when I was at the college I was definitely a bunch of people being like
まあそうだからなんていうの非行少年とかはさすがになんていうのまあ
like apparently they didn't even used to check your now they're starting to do it more but it wasn't that common for convenience to even check your age when you went to
それだからヤンキーとかその暴力団とか
I don't
に
think it
入
needs
って
to be that
る
crazy. Like I told you, I feel like if I was younger, like I could have easily been like when I was going abroad. You didn't even ask my age because I'd be borderline, right? I don't know if I was 21 or 22 at the time, and I'm not blaming my host father or anything. I'm just saying I was offered alcohol off rip, like daily, and every time I was like, nah, I'm good. So,
その時何20
I don't remember. I'm either 21 or 22, but I don't think he knew my age. Like he was. So and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's just, I'm just saying.
まあなんだろうねそれってさアルコールがまあね、脳に影響を与えるとか、まあ、あると思うんだけどさその1歳の違いで変わるかって言われるとちょっと微妙だよねっていうだからまあこのポーンのこともさどの年齢が一番なんて言うんだろうね影響を受けやすいのかみたいなねそういうなんか研究とかないのかね
You need a lot of this is very tricky because you need a lot of fundamentally you would need a lot of data on maybe you could get data on children after the fact but you could obviously there being a problem about being like we need to do a random what's it called randomized study on children currently consuming porn and compare that to a control. Yeah, so that's probably why. I would say so. We did talk about this once before. I think it was with the Assassination Classroom when they were starting to ban like anime books and they randomly manga in some states in the United States. And we talked about Australia, which gosh, I don't know how much Australia bans, but I know Australia bans a lot of anime because they just consider all of it to be a no-go.
誰が決めてんのそれ
What do you mean? I think it's on a federal level in Australia. But
なんだ難しいな。
do you think there's an act like one of the things that relating back to his candidates, one of the reasons he's so like everything, all the posters he does are like really in your face and make you go, wait, what did I just see that on a poster? Is because he's trying to get the interest back in like the youth into voting. Do you feel like there's any desire or interest in trying to like push the at least public space, or whether it be like created like porn sexualization sphere in Japan? Because I know there's industries like Host and Kabakura, which we've talked about, which are getting more and more popular, and I really feel like they're just so much. I don't know if it's a generational divide, maybe between. I feel like in reality, Japan, I feel like it's like tying. It's like number one in the world for how sexual they are, but then they act like at the same time they're like saints, and it's to me it's so confusing, and I'm wondering if pushing. I'm saying it doesn't seem like it is, but I'm saying if you think we were to ask your friends, you think they'd have an opinion on this, and they'd be like, yeah, I would like to see them removing restrictions regarding expression, like having to blur porn.
何人がそう思ってるかってこと
Yeah, at least around your friend. Or do you think they just wouldn't have an opinion?
いやまあでもそもそもさ
It's a very hard thing to argue for because I feel like a lot of people don't even want to be like, why are you watching porn? It's like
porn のさまあコンシューマーズはさまあ多分男の人のが多いよねってなった時にまあ男の人はまあブラーしない方がいいよとは
Okay, let me phrase it this way. Do you think there's anything being achieved by blurring porn? Okay, let me re-show you this blurred picture here. This picture is blurred, to be clear. Do you think there's a big difference between this being blurred? Okay. So,
but there is a difference だけどまあ 80% 一緒
Yeah, my opinion, this is almost worse. I feel like
worse.
It almost like, I don't know, it almost distorts it in a weirder way. You know what I'm saying? It also makes you want to look closer. I'm like, wait, is that blurred? You know what I'm saying? I can't tell. But yeah, let us know how you feel about censorship in Japan. I know we kind of probably talked too much about this one guy's specific things, but when is it acceptable, or do you like what do you think should be accessible? When do you think it should be accessible for people to be, let's say, nude or display people that are nude? And then do you feel like it changes whether it's in a private space or like, and if it is, like what kind of private spaces do you think are okay or not okay? And especially this whole porn issue with websites. If you have any idea, I'm not even sure how I feel. I mean, I feel about like, you know, having to actually give an ID or something is like over the line. It's just like kind of ridiculous. But then at the same time, assuming that porn has, you know, very clear negative consequences, which I'm not sure is something we can say for sure, then what do you think can be done about it? Let us know. 戻りました。
We're back.
今回、アメリカではよく起こらないけど、日本ではよく起こるものについて話したいと思います。
So I want to talk about this thing which happened today, and I am so pissed off. Yeah, by this.
人身事故という。
How do you say like...
This would be like a personnel incident or a personnel accident.
But yeah, usually like people throw themselves into the train rails, and then they try to like commit suicide.
まあ必ずしもなんかこれが起こると人が自殺しようとしてないでしょ。
Yeah, not necessarily.
毎回そんなことかな。
Yeah, it's just なんていうの、how do you say? まあなんていうの、how do you say? クンクンクンってやつ。
電車？
踏切だ、踏切。
The crossing.
そう。で、accidentally step inside the train rail で、ね、maybe the train hit someone かもしれないし、けど、like, sometimes people will just, like, on purpose, they want to kill themselves, so yeah, they do that. But anyways, so this happened today, and I was on my way to visit a hospital, and I was supposed to arrive around 7:45 or something in the morning. But because of this accident, the train got like delayed a lot, like for about 40 minutes or so. So I had to I was late, very late, and I had to send an email, and the email was sent, but I didn't get a response. So and I called the hospital, but they didn't answer. So I was like, fuck.
その今アメリカ人や日本人以外の人ならあいみは人身事故を聞いて最初に思ったのはやばメールしないといけないことが特徴的なのかな。なんかアメリカ人の場合からすると、まあ私の友達覚えてるかな。その日本に来てその人身事故が起こった時何を言ったか覚えてる？
I don't remember.
まあその日本と、まあ、日本にいる時は地震と人身事故は似てると思う。なぜかというとアメリカ人はなんかあまり経験しないことだから、でもちろんアメリカの方が実はその自殺率の方が高いと思うんだけど、その自殺するときは大体なんか起こるときは他の人は他人は知らないでしょう。その家の中だとか車の中だとか、でも日本にいるときはもちろん人身事故が起こるときになんか実際になんかさっき他のまあ同じ社会に住んでる人たちは自殺しようとしたことはなんかすぐに分かるからなんか変な雰囲気だなと思うけど、なんか日本人からするとその人身事故が起こるとなんか悲しいなと思う。
I don't know. Maybe I'm just too mean, but like I worry about like my plan. Like especially today, I couldn't be late because this is like job hunting, and I can't be late. And because of this stupid accident, I was late. So I was kind of mad and frustrated. Like, when does this ね、なんていうの、再開 like
Or just start up again ってことかな。
Yeah, start up again. And then
でも
I was
医者
really frustrated.
医者としてはなんかこういうなんか人身事故のせいで電車が止まったってことはなんか国はどうしてるのかなと、この国全体はなんかこのなんか人身事故は多分日本ならではのものじゃないかもしれないけど、まあ少なくとも私の今までの経験からすると日本の特徴の一つだと思うんだけど、でこのことについて医者としての意見ないの？その心理学的に。
I don't know.
なんか例えばアメリカの場合だとそのなんか電車に乗って自殺するよりも他の人をなんか殺す、なんか銃で撃つこともあるし、で自分でまあ実質なんか自分の家の中で自殺することも多いんだけど、そのなんで電車を使うのかな？
Because it's instant and it's just like the pain is just like how do you say like one shot.
でもなんか他の人なんか迷惑かけたいからそれをやってると思うの？それとも
I don't know. They just no. I mean like I guess people who do that
なんかある程度の復
doesn't I
讐
don't know don't care like about bothering other people.
まあ don't care か
Don't even think that they're causing troubles around people.
まあ少なくともそのアメリカの場合だと自殺するときはだいたいその社会への恨みを持っている人が多いし、でもちろん他の人を殺そうとする人はそのなんか社会への復讐になるんだけど、そういうなんか迷惑をかけることでなんかある程度の復讐をやってるのかな？その日本人、全くそう思わない。ただ電車が一番やりやすい方法。
Yeah, I guess. Or maybe it's just an accident かもしれないですね。Like sometimes like drunk people accidentally like fell off of the like platform at the station and then just right after they fall down like trains come they run over the train runs over.
でもなんか最近東京の電車だといろんな、 なんか施設があると思うんだけど、そのなんかライトもあるしで、今日読んだんだけどそのある程度そのラインを超えるとなんか自動的に電車が止まることがあるって書いてあるんだけど、ってことは人身事故になるために結構なんかなんか走って飛ばないといけないって感じだと思うんだけど、なんかついにできるものじゃない。
Or they choose which station to do.
そうだね。
Like less guard, less security. Yeah.
でも今まではなんか子供の時でもこれは当たり前のことで迷惑だけ。
yeah, like every time. だけどねone occasion where like all people wished for God in my high school でそのwhen we なんていうの when we're in the exam season、since we don't like want to take exams we just wish that someone kills themselves
やば
and then like make the train delay
黒
とか or like なんて大雪とか。
でもそれ多くないの？なんか今日は今撮影してる時は月曜日で、この人身事故が起こった時に私が最初に思ったのは月曜日だから分かる、なんか仕事に戻らないといけないから月曜日は、でそういうなんかホリデーの日や試験の日は人身事故が多いということかな。まあ実は話したんだけど、そのこれから何のテストを受けるの？そのなんかホテルに行ってなんかわざわざ、まあ、人身事故だけを考えてるというわけじゃないけど、それ一応なんか電車に乗らないためになんかもし
ナショナルエクザム？
なんかそういう問題を防ぐため、
that will include natural disasters though。
いやでもそれを考えてるってことかな。なんかこういう試験の日は特にこういうことが起こる。
Yeah, because we don't want to be late, so yeah.
いやいやいや、でも私が聞いてるのは、そのテストの時はよくその人身事故が起こりやすいという。
We just thought we can't be late for the exam, so that's why we booked a hotel for the national exam.
でも多分統計的に多いかな。その
I don't know.
なんかあんまり勉強できなくてこれを失敗したら
Just don't take the
留年に
exam.
なるし、いやいや、例えばそのまあ他の友達がいるんだけど、まあ今は大丈夫かな。でもなんか何回も留年したことがあって、でもう一度留年したらなんか全部はダメになっちゃうっていう、なんか、そういうことがあるでしょう。でそのことに関しては想像できる。まあ一応、アメリカ人からすると面白いっていうか、あまりアメリカでなんか経験しないことだと思った。こういうなんか当たり前の人身事故。
I was very frustrated. That's it. Yeah. Sorry, I'm so mad today. From the first section and the second section. Jesus.
怒ってたの
Yeah.
その人に
Yeah. Oh, wait, what?
誰に怒ってたのその最初のセクションでは。
That stupid guy. Yeah, I'm not gonna mention the name there.
まあその人身事故についての感想を教えてください。And we're back with the final section. And if you made to the final section, that means you just send an email to lazyfluency@gmail.com with comment, questions, language related and or otherwise. And this week we have 2 comments. One that I forgot to answer last week, and it was from Eldon. Ayami, do you want to read the comment?
はい。結婚アプリで日本国籍を取得した外国人と日本人がどうマッチするのかな考える絵文字。ありがとうっていう。どうマッチするの？別にいいんじゃない？そのなんかさ、確かなんだっけ、ルールがあるんだよね。実際に独身かどうかと、なんだ、あと証明 ID だっけ、 ID となんたらかんたらとかいろいろ、なんか政府じゃないか、東京都が審査して、この人はれっきとした独身の男性っていう認められれば別にマッチするんじゃない
？Yeah, there's nothing that says you have to be, I don't even think there's anything saying you have to be a citizen. Obviously, if it was under, this is just, like I said, this is a private company and it's being pushed by the government, but I don't even think it's like you have to be a Japanese citizen necessarily. But even if you were, like, if you are a citizen, even if you're like naturalized, I don't see why you would not be allowed to use the matching system. I wonder if there's a racial component, or just assume that, such a big percentage of Japan is just ethnically, or, Asian or Japanese or whatever, so they wouldn't even put it in there. But that would, I mean, I don't think you'd have any obstacles like that. Like I said, this still hasn't, it's even recording now, and I think it's been like a month or something. I still don't think the applications come up. Maybe I don't know if we'll have, I guess maybe IME would have access to it. Or something like this is Tokyo's specific app, but maybe we can download the app when it ends up.
Is it like 何もうできてるの?
No. But when it does come out, maybe you can download the app and then we'll let you know about.
私結婚アプリ使おうかな。マッチしたらよろしくお願いします。
Yeah, you check out the Tokyo 婚活。
ダメだ。まあいいや。
Yeah, thank you for the comment. Yeah, we'll let you know. Keep you informed. The other comment is from Shockox, our MVP commenter. This was referring to the government kind of the AI taking over the government. I remember we talked about last week. I was going to make a joke about outsourcing dating to AI, and then you had to say the Hinge thing. I don't remember the exact context, but it's from an old comment I never posted. It's semi-relevant. The AI mayor, while silly now, had me thinking about a potentially inevitable future. I've mentioned Brian Johnson before, but just added a general overview. He's one of the slowest aging people and fully believes he can live forever, on pace to be like 120 or 140 healthfully, and believes by then technology will improve to change those numbers even more. Good chance he's right. He mentioned something called the autonomous self, and it's essentially how he lives. Let the data speak itself instead of him. I don't ask what I want, I let my lungs and my liver and my organs tell me. And then here's the fun part. What if an AI could take better care of you than yourself? And what if an AI could take better care of the planet than we could do now? I actually think it's potentially possible, but people would never get together and let it happen. A human could also take care of the planet better, but we're too busy solving for X when the planet's health is actually Y. Same with our bodies. We tend to solve for enjoyment or eating an entire pizza and drinking 18 beers or even athletic performance rather than having X equals longevity. I think his goal would be to create a benevolent superintelligence and pass all responsibility onto it. And I'm curious as to how you feel on that because Joey in particular would probably get the major ick. Thank you for the comment. Go ahead.
なんかさ、これさ、まあ AI がまあ結構今使われててさ、なんか AI マッチングとなんだ、あと AI であなたにとってどういう食事が一番いいですよとかまあもちろんあるじゃん。けどさ、なんて言うんだろう、まあダイエットが失敗するってよくあるじゃん。と同じように、これをなんかサジェストされたところで、それを実行に移せないっていうのが人間じゃん。から別にテイクオーバーはされないんじゃね、その面に関しては。
I just don't agree. There's not. The idea of autonomous self to me just sounds goofy. Because there's no such thing as impartial data. You know, at least we cannot obtain it. We can obtain facts, but what you do with the facts and the decisions you make those facts and the implementations you want to do with those facts those are basically all politics. And in a similar way that you can't have people agree on the same politic. Maybe are you assuming we have infinite resources or something and there's no longer some sort of scarcity problem? And then in which case, I don't know how far we are in the future. I definitely think that we're going to get, the aging technology is going to get better and better and better and better and better. And it doesn't seem like to me there's any intrinsic thing that reason humans would have to die from old age. But I couldn't unless humans became some machine hybrid where they still had control over the system. I don't know. And like maybe over certain sectors, like, I mean, how we already do it, you give it a concrete orders and then it implements your things, or maybe you ask an AI for suggestions and then you debate on what you want to do. But the thing is, like, politics is all about distribution of power and distribution of resources. And so who's programming the AI and, what objectives are they trying to get the AI to fulfill? I just don't think there's a way to like how can you prompt a question such that that's not a political decision? Make sure everybody's healthy. What does that mean? Make sure everybody's having fun. What does that mean? Does that mean Joey doesn't get to have a super niche hobbies because the AI decided that, we don't have enough resources for Magic the Gathering or something? Like, I don't know what that means. Obviously, I think it's going to be part of the decision process, but do you have any, do you think, like, how much do you think AI is going to affect politics?
Politics?
In terms of, like, actual decision-making. They'll be like, oh, I don't, like, the guys, decision. Like, AI mayors, like, he goes, I don't actually have a position on, let's say, public transportation systems. I just want the most efficient system. And then so they run a bunch of diagrams in their city with AI, and then that's what they implement or something like that.
なんだろう、トランスポテーションに AI を使う、AI をどうやって使うんだろうね。まあでも効率化するのかな。なんだ、例えばある山手線が5分遅れてて、それに同じ山手線のある駅がで、人身事故が起こって、そこにつながってる違う線のなんて言うんだろう、遅れる状況とかをなんか瞬時に計算してくれるとか、それで効率化できるんだったらそれは便利じゃないかなとは思うけど、そういうこと？
Yeah, I'm just talking about different potential ways you could see it being used. My thing is, like, definitely could scare me is the U.S. had a history of basically saying as long as prices keep going lower, everything is fine. And I feel like you could easily have an overly simplified thing like, oh, just make sure prices are lower, and then there's nothing to worry about in terms of company monopolies. You might not be familiar with U.S. history, but there's a whole idea where like the government and everybody was basically believed that as long as prices for goods went down, you don't have to worry about managing and breaking up large companies. And then it just turned out, hey, that's not the case, because when companies will just consolidate and get a bunch of power, and then they can do anything they want, and like that's a big problem. But that wasn't obvious. I mean, in hindsight, it was obvious, but and maybe at the time for people, but there's a lot of ways that you could make, like, do you think you could give a goal to an AI that it would do when people wouldn't have a problem with it? Like, let's say
なんかさ、何に対してもさ、good things があればさ、bad things もあるでしょ。なんだ、まあ医療の世界にしてもさ、まあ手術をしますと、手術をして、良くなるからした方がいいですよっていうのはまあ正しいけどさ、その手術をすることでまあ合併症、まあリスクっていうのはさつくからさ、何かしらゼロからプラスになるものっていうのは必ずマイナスになると私は思ってるから、 AI がまあ発展していくとまあリスクも増えていくねっていう。
I can easily see even something like, hey, try to make it so that, you know, whether not people like, you know, people who don't believe in abortions or like they should be allowed, or people that, you know, believe that they should, you could easily see something be like, well, either way, you know, you don't want to be in the situation that you have to have an abortion because having a kid, you know, or having to make the decision can be stressful. And so you could say in AI or something like, make it so that no one has to be in the decision to make an abortion. And then, you know, then the AI is like, okay, I've decided that if I realize someone's relationship, you know, if I see these different circumstances happen, then it makes more sense to kill the husband or something, or kill, because then we can prevent them from having to, you know, I can see this person is likely not to wear a condom. So if we kill them, you know, or we cut off their penis, then they won't, you know.
カラーとピーネスしたらポスターにネイケッドのポスター都知事選に
exactly like that. Yeah,
貼っていいよ。
There are, I remember seeing some modeling software by AI and how it was very helpful because they were able to come up with new architecture designs that were never thought about before. And they're like, oh wow, this like we never thought about this before. We didn't think about constructing things this way, and that was helpful. But I just don't see. I mean, maybe I also come from CS like background as well. You still have objectives, right? You still have objectives, and those objectives are decided by people. So I just don't know at what point, unless we have general intelligence, and then at that point, if we do have some sort of intelligence like that, and it has enough power to actually implement systems, then are we not just like being matrixed at that point? You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't have any control at that point. And then we're assuming the AI is smart enough to like want to make decisions for us, but then also not smart enough to just want to achieve its own means. I just don't. I find it hard to imagine like what that would be like, especially if Brian Johnson was the one. Like if you've heard Brian Johnson speak,
あの人なんかエルフみたいだよね。
his whole system is prioritized. Like he's not maximizing for anything but longevity. When in his head he's doing it because eventually he'll be able to live for immortal. He wants to be able to, you know, catch that, and then you can have a good life after that or whatever. But forcing that across the entire population is not ethical. It's not ethical. So yeah, thank you so much for the comments. Do you have any other thoughts on AI and governments?
AI government?
Yeah.
いやなんかね、交通とかに使うのはいいと思うけど。なんだろうね、まあなんか使うべきところと使わないべきところっていうのもさ、リストアップするのも大変だよね。それを AI に任せちゃうっていうのもありかもしれない。
I will say there is an anime that kind of has at least a picture where you don't have the AIs fully generalized and controlling everything, but you do have them kind of like what we're doing right now, where they get very good at specific tasks. It's called Vivi. I think it was co-written by the same author who wrote ReZero with somebody else, I can't remember. Good anime. And it kind of, in that sense, all the AI are incorporated in a very specific task section. Partially because of the idea, I think, that, you know, when you give general control, if you give general control over, then at that point you're just like at completely the mercy of, like, I just don't understand what it means like an AI to take care of you better than you want to. It reminds me of just kind of the Matrix, I guess. I think that would be what that is, right? You'd rather be in the system than experience the world war because it sucks for some reason or another. But yeah, thank you for the comment. That bell means we've reached the end of today's episode. Thanks for joining us in another lazy conversation towards fluency. If you have any language-related questions and are just looking for general advice, send an email to lazyfluency@gmail.com and might respond next episode. Also consider supporting us on Ko-Fi to get video updates, Discord access, and just lend a hand. And finally, make sure to check out our podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and more. We'd appreciate the support. This has been Joey.
And Amy.
Signing off.
じゃあねー。